Hi Threadbangers. See this little pouch that my tunes are in? I want to show you how to make one. Follow along.
Gather your supplies. You're going to need cardboard, a ruler, yarn needle or a bodkin, marker or pencil, scissors, scraps of yarn, some size 10 crochet cotton, and a little bit of time.
And you're going to make your cardboard an inch longer than what your player is tall. You're going to make it half an inch wider than what your player is wide, or whatever measurement you want for your pouch. What you're also going to want to do is want to make sure the corrugation of your cardboard runs vertically. You want to measure and cut out that piece of cardboard, and then from each end draw a line 1/4 inch from the edge. Measure 1/4 inch segments all the way across, and then take your scissors and snip slots where those 1/4 inch increments are marked. Okay, and then we're going to wrap our warp. Okay, you want to take your crochet cotton and wrap your warp. The warp thread is the thread that you're going to weave into. This is your foundation for your cotton in that first slot on your card. Bring it down behind the card and back up to the top and through the slot. You want to go over to the next one and slide it in that slot. You want to bring it down to the bottom, up the back, into the next in the same slot, forth and around the bottom. Always go around the bottom into the top slot into the next slot at the top, because your opening of your pouch will be at the top and the bottom will be the bottom of your pouch. But you always go back into the same slot you started in with that wrap, and then you go over to the next one. And so you should have vertical lines that are evenly spaced apart, and at the bottom, show it from the back, you won't see any horizontal lines, but at the top, every other one, you'll see a horizontal line. That's how you know you wrapped it right. So you wrap your entire card in this manner, and then we're going to do is take this other end and leave about a 3-inch tail or longer. And then I'm going to take it and wrap it around that last one a couple times and bring it across the top just to get it out of my way. We're going to weave these in last. So just tuck them in somewhere along the top. I'm going to undo this one and do the same thing. Wrap it around the first slot. A yarn needle, if your yarn might be bulky, fold it over the needle, pop it out, and then pop the end through the hole. I'm going to work with this one doubled. It's a finer yarn. You could, if you're using heavier yarn, you could just do single strand. Alright. And you weave your typical under and over method, under and over each warp thread across. Just leave a little bit hanging loose, and we'll trim it off later. What we just did, you notice you went under this one, so you want to go over the next warp. And you weave over and under like this. And when you put a new piece of yarn on, just leave a little bit of a tail like this is. And just keep going. You want to make sure that when the row below, this one here, it went under the warp, so I'm going to go over it. And you do that. You're over under weaving. And then when you get your needle through like this, take your fingers, tamp it down. when you want to make it so that the weaving is so tight, eventually you won't be able to see that warp thread. Continue filling in your card, and then we're going to take care of these. You unwrap it. Now, you don't want to take it out of that last slot. You don't just unwrap it so that it is through the last slot. Okay. And then what you're going to do is just take this and weave it like a running stitch down through the edge. Yeah, you don't have to go under every thread, every piece of yarn. Just go under and over a couple at a time. It won't show. So you just pull it through. You want to pull it down a little bit, give it a little tug. And that's as simple as that. Then the other end, do the same thing. Now we're going to trim off these tails. This is actually, the outside is going to be your inside. So you can trim them off with maybe 1/8 of an inch sticking up, including these warp ones that we wove through. Okay, I've trimmed all the ends, leaving 1/8 of an inch to 1/4 of an inch. I've even trimmed a little bit of the warp tail that we wove in. Now I'm going to do a drawstring. I'm going to get your yarn you want for the drawstring, maybe. And we're going to weave just like we did before, do an opposite over under, and since it's so tight, it's going to be hard to see, but just do your best, almost like sewing it. Weave it through, leaving a tail the width of the cardboard on this side. And you go around and you turn it just like you've done with your weaving, except for we're leaving that tail, and over and under, opposite of the one below. Okay, then you want to tie a knot. Make these longer or shorter as you please. Tie a knot, and then on this end and around, and for your second string. All right, I've got my drawstring, or my mock drawstring, woven in, and we're going to want to remove it from the loom. We start out by taking these cardboard tabs that we made and tearing them off. You can cut them off if you like, but you might risk cutting your warp thread or your weave thread. So you just pop all these off from the bottom and off the top. Popped off all the little tabs. Now we're going to roll it. Roll it up. And squeeze it as you roll it to weaken the cardboard. And you might roll it the other direction as well. And then you reach in the top and pull out your loom. Okay, now we have a scruffy little bag. But to make it look nice and smooth, take and turn it around. It's a little pouch to hold tunes. And here we go.